Well, that rolls over into the next thing I was going to talk about, the whole abortion thing, and how women get flack for it. You know what I mean? Especially in like more, maybe I'm not right by saying urban settings. Maybe that's not the right term, but I know what I know, and I know pretty much ghetto folk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I've seen the whole man not want to have the baby and try to convince the woman to have an abortion.
yeah,
Now, when women go through with the abortion, you have people who call them murderers. When women keep the baby, oh, you trying to trap a nigga with the baby. And so
yeah.
it's like
It's
woman, women, women. You, she did it, she did it, she did it. I don't see that same energy given to the dude who said, I'm gonna run up in this wall, or the rubber bust, but I'm gonna keep going. It takes two to make a baby, and I'm not landing on either side of. I mean, well, I'm not trying to pick at either particular side of it. I just do feel that it actually takes two, and I don't see that same energy, you know, poured out towards the man. And I'm a man, so I know motherfuckers like, man, what the fuck you talking about? You would do. Well, I've had situations where a woman has had an abortion, and I got children. So in both cases, a discussion was had on it, and I don't know that any of those decisions were all up to me. And the whole, well, she should have kept it, or she just did that to trap you, or whatever it is, nobody ever turned to me really and be like, that's on you too, because you made that baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah,
understand why
yeah,
that's
yeah,
so
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
sided.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how other people look at it. My perspective on it is it takes two. You know what I mean?
Right.
And whether she keeps the child or she doesn't keep the child. I mean, the male to me has some right in it as far
Yeah.
as what happens. As far as like, okay, you guys can't have the baby. You gonna get an abortion? Well, it shouldn't just be up to her to pay for the abortion. The guy should be doing it too. Why? Because both of y'all did that.
Right.
If she decides to keep it, then yeah, you got to do what you got to do as a man, financially and for the child. Um, but I think it's to me. I mean, I know what you mean, and I know what you're talking about because I have seen that as well. But I feel it's the same. It should be the same energy for both parties. It shouldn't
Right.
just all be on the woman that it's like a double-edged sword. Either she keeps it or she doesn't. And if she does, then she's trapping a guy with a baby or trying to keep a
Right.
nigga with a baby. I mean, didn't Dr. Dre and them make a song about it?
Probably. I don't know. Probably, and I'm not talking about the extreme cases, though. By the way, I'm not talking about
No, no, no. I know what you
rape
mean.
or violation. Those are that's a whole nother complex scenario right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know what
That
I'm saying?
no, I know what you're talking
That
about. You talking
you
about
know
just the generic, just regular
the
nigga shit.
regular, yeah, the regular nigga shit, and the thing is, the whole well, she had an abortion. Well, 8 to 9 times out of 10, nigga, he dropped her off because I know I dropped the motherfucker off and picked the motherfucker up. So
Yeah,
you know what I
either
mean?
he dropped him off, he paid
Yeah,
for it. I mean,
yeah.
he
So
knew about it.
or medical coverage, whatever paid for it, he knew about it. He
Yeah,
was okay with it to a degree. Now, in the event that a man is not okay with it, then uh I don't really know what to do about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know where that would lie. You know what I mean? Like it's up to the woman ultimately. I don't believe that a man. They say Tupac said, since a man can't create one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where she can make one.
I kind of agree with what he said on that because
A little bit, but at the same time, we do. You can't. She can't have it without us. So we do create. We are the creators. She's the incubator. You know what I'm saying? And the deliverer. So we can create it. But as far as not, I agree with him as far as he can't. He shouldn't be able to tell her to have it or not to have it, when to have it, or however to have it. That's I agree with that because ultimately it's her who's going to have to carry it. It's
Hmm.
her who's going to deal with the physical repercussions of having it in her. It's her who's going to deal with the pain. It's her who's going to deal with the aftermath,
The
that
whole
whatever they call.
situation.
Yeah, the aftermath. I forget the name of it, but whatever depression comes after the baby's born sometimes, and the body not feeling the same and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
her who
yeah, yeah,
deals
yeah,
with
yeah.
that. So I get it. But at the same time, in the event that a woman wants to abort a baby and a man doesn't want to, wants to keep the baby, perhaps maybe it would be better if we could prove that we should be uh, forced to sign something to say no, we're holding to this. You know what I mean? Hold
So
us
you're
to this.
saying like a legal doctrine, but a
I don't want.
contract. No,
Well, I'm sorry
basically,
to cut you off.
basically the
Not legal. Not legal.
well, then if it ain't legal, then it can't. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah. I
not going to
mean,
be able to be.
yeah. You're right. Yeah,
It
you're
would
right.
have to be legal, and then now
Yeah.
then you're getting the court involved into something.
Right, and that's not good to have the courts involved in households. We've seen the
Yeah,
detriment in that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
if
I mean,
that
maybe just a mutual agreement written. But you're right. Either way it go, to have it legal and binding, you would probably have to get a. I don't know. Maybe there is no room for it. I guess it would just be a sucky situation then if a man wants to keep a baby and a woman wants to get rid of it, and that's
I
just nothing
mean,
you can
yeah,
do
I
about it.
mean that really is what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
um, ultimately, I feel that it's the final decision comes to the woman. That's how I feel
yeah,
because
yeah. Ultimately,
biologically, she's the one that's going to be doing everything other
yeah.
than me
Hmm.
as a man just sitting there watching it happen and going down.
Yeah, 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 that's
So,
true. I agree 100%. You're
so,
absolutely right. It's just
so
confusing. It's just
for yeah,
confusing.
so I mean, for a man, if he wants to keep it, I mean, like you were saying, if they're going to do that, then they would have to go through the court. And I'm already against.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel that the courts have already too much influence into family life.
Yes.
Sometimes it is warranted and needed, for the protection of children when it comes to
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
child endangerment and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Trifling shit, family
Yeah,
fighting in
that
front of the
type of
kids,
shit,
all that shit.
that
It
type of
makes
thing,
sense.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. But my problem is when the court sides with the woman and she's doing this stuff out of spite.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying.
So,
I'm glad
so,
you said that.
so in that regard, for that type of thing to happen with abortion, where they would have a legal contract saying that he's going to be financially responsible for the child, including like health and board and all that, she has
Yeah,
no
yeah.
obligations other than delivering the child. They would
Hmm.
have to go through the court, and I don't. That's
I
already
don't,
given the
yeah.
court. Yeah, that's already given the courts to me too much influence into that situation.
Yeah, capping that off, I'm gonna say from the rooter to the tutor on that because from marriage on down to anything else you can think of, except for in cases of, like you said, domestic violence, uh, uh, verbal abuse, all these things,
Child endangerment.
you get child
I
endangerment. It's all
totally
child
agree.
endangerment. It's all child
But
endangerment to
even when
me.
there's no kids involved and there's just
Yeah, just verbal
domestic
abuse.
violence and
Period.
all that
Yeah,
stuff, I agree with the courts being involved in that type of situation
right,
because
right.
it's needed.
Yeah, right. Even if it's not physical, like
Hmm.
anything toxic. Yeah, we don't always make the best decisions and just going our own way and leaving it alone. So in that case, I guess the courts do come in handy. But I'm not for the courts involved in family situations at all.
I'm when it comes to, well, it's a really sticky subject, and it's a really
Hmm.
messy subject
Right.
because in some cases, yeah, the courts are great to have involved, but in some cases the courts are doing more damage than good. And then you have a biases in the court when, because a woman can just automatically put a child on a man. And if you don't take the DNA test and you start paying for this child and then eventually find out that it's not your child, and then all that money is gone because courts aren't going to take money from a child, you know what I mean? Which I
Yeah.
agree with that too. It's if you slept with someone and it was a one night stand and they end up getting pregnant and they come telling you that I got a baby and it's yours, you should be taking a DNA test. Or if you feel like your woman isn't faithful to you, or vice versa, and you should be having a DNA test. And
Yeah. I like how you use that word faithful. I hate that faithful ties so closely with loyalty because I still see that so different. But that's just me,
I
and
don't
I'm an
believe
idiot,
being
so I
faithful
care.
and loyal are the same.
It's not the same to me.
Mm-mm.
Financial resources and absolute, where one is reporting to and all your hard work and everything.
Yeah.
That's loyal. Faithful, yeah, the promiscuous or stepping out infidelity, but blah blah blah. I don't even want to touch on that shit. I'm cool. Step away
Yeah.
from that.
Uh, all right. Well, on that note, we're gonna close that one out, and
Uh-huh.
I guess we're going into the freestyle portion
Yeah, let's take a
already.
quick break and we'll be back with a little bit more of the oddities of the iCast.
At first I was a West Coast host, then it was only me and the ghost. We had another brother from my tribe getting down with the post. Black Yay came to pick up the host. Hip hop comatose all over the globe. Where your hands at? They live with the panic, you didn't understand that. And for the little ones, we believe the call couldn't impeach them all. But if we breach the wall, it'll be each us all in. The real raw is never mind if you ballin' when property is crawling. Never mind your pistol when they shooting banana clips. You can keep it canary cause we pushing banana splits. Yeah, this is the pits in the gutter with a concrete cover and smother us all. After dealing with the bangers and dodging the law, it's a wonder we can be in heaven at all. So this our song, sorta unusual when shaped out blonde. You can dispute it though, but no, not for long. When you look into the future and try to right your wrong, and if your light is on, then clear that you'll see the kids in the ghetto they drowning too deep. So now we outreach before they all gone. Badly deformed and shaped out blonde. Better try to find a better way. Right now, get out, find a better day. Right now, try to find a better way. Right now, try to find a better way. Right now, if your lights is on, then clear that you'll see the kids in the ghetto they drowning too deep. So now we outreach before they all gone. Badly deformed and shaped out long.
Sit back and ponder the raw element. Distinguish the different molecular evidence. You in a box getting condensed, you get your meat minced. This is hatred of man and bread with the ignorance. Warfare, pestilence. Check the testaments. Angels don't fall cause we ain't heaven sent. But the hands up to the fence, getting off to the righteous. I ain't hypey, but I'm hype shit. So with the rhyme kick, they'll tell it what type of line to spit. But you do a line of shit. Put the chops on the side of your lip, making your heart skip. Niggas are secret agents, smiling any persuasion. Black, white, Latino, and Asian.